Hand the fanboys and fangirls, your patience has been rewarded. For the first time in the US, the Civic Type R is here, and it's glorious. A 306 horsepower turbocharged 2.0-liter inline-four with a 6-speed manual transmission and front-wheel drive is the only powertrain. A front-strut suspension, Honda calls it dual-access, eliminates the torque steer normally associated with high-powered front-drive vehicles. Navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a 540-watt 12-speaker stereo are all standard. The hottest Hondas offered to Americans often wore an Acura badge, including the NSX supercar and the oldie-but-goodie Integra Type R, but with Ford's Wild Focus RS joining the Subaru WRX STI and the Volkswagen Golf R in the US. The time has come for Honda to finally introduce a machine here that wears its vaunted scarlet H emblem. The 2017 Civic Type R. While we've endured a long 20 years of seeing its predecessors rack up accolades on foreign tarmac, this scalding hot hatch was worth the wait. We knew the 2017 Type R was good from our first experience on the less-than-perfect roads of Quebec, Canada. Here, though, are the headline facts from this instrumented test: 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.9 seconds, 1.02 grams of lateral grip, and the ability to stop from 70 miles per hour in a Porsche-like 142 feet, in a tweaked, front-wheel drive commuter car with 61.8% of its 3,111 pounds resting on the front wheels. So, yeah, extremely solid. What sets this Honda apart from other sport compacts is how it balances speed, body control, and outright cornering prowess with day-to-day ride comfort that you would never expect given its rubber band-like 30 series tires. Indeed, those 245/30 ZR20 Continental Sport Contact 6 performance treads offer seemingly no cushion for the spindly 20-inch aluminum wheels, and they're pricey at $320 a pop. Yet, despite having significantly stiffer springs, dampers, bushings, and anti-roll bars than even the new Civic C, the Type R traverses pockmarked pavement better than nearly any other car with this much stick, even with its driving mode selector in its full attack plus R setting, which slightly weights up the steering over the lesser sport and comfort modes and puts the 3-position adaptive dampers in their firmest tune. The ride is fully livable, combined with the high level of standard amenities and wonderfully comfortable and supportive sport seats. Available in red cloth only, there's little compromise to having a Type R as your sole mode of transport. This being the age of the turbocharger, we won't dwell on this hot Honda's lack of a spine-tingling naturally aspirated engine. The R's boosted 2.0-liter inline-four sounds like a steroid-enhanced vacuum cleaner at high RPM and is a bit too quiet overall, but it is a super smooth powerhouse, churning out a stout 306 horsepower and 295 pounds-to-feet of torque and ripping to its modest 7,000 revolution per minute redline with zeal. Lots of neat chirps and whooshes can be heard from the big snail under the hood, and the trick 3-outlet exhaust keeps droning and booming sounds to a minimum. Even though short final gearing has the engine turning 3,500 revolutions per minute at 75 miles per hour in top gear. We bettered the car's 22-mile-per-gallon city rating by 1 mile per gallon in our overall driving and surpassed its 28-mile-per-gallon highway figure by the same margin on our 75-mile-per-hour highway test loop. The aluminum shift ball atop the Type R's standard 6-speed manual transits a close reach from the leather-wrapped steering wheel. It is as rewarding to snick through the shifter's gates as it is easy to burn your hand on after the car has been sitting outside on a sunny day. But working up a sweat driving this car is unnecessary. The engine's thrust quickly builds low in the power band. Cleverly tuned rev-matching software can remove the driver from the heel and toe shifting loop, and the Type R's dual-axis strut front suspension, Honda's take on Ford's Revo and GM's Hyper-Strut, almost magically eliminates torque steer when you're pointed straight ahead. All this civility should in no way suggest that the Type R cannot hustle. The engine's computer lets it rev freely to only 3,500 revolutions per minute, making the optimal launch the result of carefully modulating the clutch and throttle to avoid bogging. Get it right and you'll be running at a 108-mile-per-hour clip when the quarter-mile flashes by after 13.5 seconds. That makes the Type R easily the quickest front driver we've ever tested. and just a couple ticks slower than most of its more expensive, all-wheel drive competition. And none of its rivals can shed speed like the Civic can. Its 4-piston, 13.8-inch Brembo front brakes and upgraded 12.0-inch rear stoppers biting hard via a firm, if longish travel, brake pedal. On the road, the Civic Type R blasted down our favorite 2 lanes with precision and nearly unflappable composure. The sharp and moderately tactile helm makes it easy to probe the car's huge grip limits. Driven hard into a corner, the R rotates smartly yet never abruptly so, with the helical limited slip differential yanking it out of bends with only a slight tug at the steering wheel. It may lack a drift mode or rally-bred AWD system, but this feels every bit the quickest front-drive production car to lap the new DRS's Nürburgring. Helping the Type R attain that record pace are its many external vents, fins, and protruding air manipulators, including a massive wing perched just above the driver's rearward line of sight. Most of these elements may be functional, but the visual effect is obnoxiously juvenile on the road. If a car could run on a slurry of Mountain Dew and Doritos, it would be this thing. And you had better like red because, along with the vibrant seats, the color graces the Type R's 4 seat belts, some trim pieces on the dash, part of the leather on the steering wheel, the Type R specific 7.0-inch gauge cluster display, and the exterior's accent stripes and R badges. The latest Civic's 7.0-inch capacitive touch infotainment system is another bane of living with the Type R, although it becomes less of an issue once you learn the convoluted menu layout and configure a few primary settings. The rest of the R is familiar from the everyday Civic Sport that beat out the hatchback Chevrolet Cruze, Mazda 3, and VW Golf in our latest compact hatchback comparison test. There's also 26 cubic feet of cargo space behind the 60/40 split folding rear seat and 46 cubes with it stowed. Available only in the Civic's top-level touring trim, the Type R has no options other than paint color, and it comes well-equipped with LED headlights, dual-zone automatic climate control, navigation, a 540-watt premium stereo, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. Designed from the start for the U.S. market, though sold globally, the 2017 Civic Type R slots nicely into our vehicular landscape. Its $34,775 asking price is considerably more than those of lesser front-drive sport compacts such as the Ford Focus Street, the VW GTI, and Honda's equally new Civic C. Yet the Type R is thousands less than its AWD performance peers, even with its fast and furious styling that looks ready to sprout a mohawk in traffic. This thoroughbred Civic is the hardcore hot hatch we've been waiting for.